In Thomas Warrick, Senior Fellow at the Atlantic Council. He joins us now live from Washington, D.C. Thomas, thanks very much for your time. So it's being hailed as a significant step forward, certainly by President Trump himself. But how much work is there still to do?
Well, good morning to you and to your viewers. There actually is quite a bit of clarification that is needed in the next 2 days. Of particular concern to me is we saw Hamas's response, which showed respect to President Trump. And President Trump's response showed respect to Hamas. So for many of us, this was a very encouraging sign. It's actually a small diplomatic accomplishment that both sides have respect for each other, and that would allow negotiations to proceed more usefully. But the problem is that President Trump has taken the most optimistic interpretation of the sequence of events, assuming that the release of the hostages will take place very soon. And this is what led to his request or direction to the Israeli government to stop the bombing in Gaza, which, as I think you have shown, has produced pictures tonight of much rejoicing among the Gazan people. But if you look at what Hamas actually said, that sequence is not there. The Hamas response makes it clear there are many steps that have to be taken, including efforts to unify the Palestinian movement around key elements. The Hamas response makes no mention of whether it will lay down its arms. It could well be that Hamas has simply agreed to the principle of releasing all the hostages, dead and alive, but without actually agreeing that this would happen almost immediately and without any preconditions. Many of us had understood that Hamas does have preconditions before it will release the hostages. And so the need is immediate for Turkey and others to seek clarification of whether Hamas is ready to actually move to hostage releases in the next few days.
Yes, President Trump pointed out his thanks to many regional partners, particularly Arab partners, in getting to this stage. But interestingly, he made no reference to Israel in that statement. Is that further evidence of this increasingly strained relationship we understand exists between Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu?
No, you should not think of a strained relationship as being anything more than a relatively small disagreement among two leaders who see the world in much the same way. Both of them are committed to ending Hamas's rule in Gaza, ensuring that Hamas is disarmed, and in many respects, the American plan, the 20-point plan, accommodates Israel's security needs very closely. But the question, though, is, as you said in your introduction, Prime Minister Netanyahu cannot be seen to be opposing President Trump's plan. So what concerns me is that Netanyahu would be taking exactly the same very optimistic interpretation that President Trump has, knowing that if Hamas does not follow through on an immediate release of the hostages, he can then point to this and say, see, this proves that Hamas can never be trusted and that we must go forward with our military campaign. When in fact, what we actually have is a diplomatic misunderstanding here.
Thomas, we thank you very much indeed for your analysis on this. Thomas Warrick there from the Atlantic Council, an American think tank in the field of international affairs.